I made these composition stands for making rockets, and I talked about making the automatic lid opening feature. I showed one for a countertop one, but this is the one that I made on the stand, and it will work, you know, either left or right footed, and it doesn't get hung up no matter how you push on it. This will come off, this unit all comes off and will mount onto a countertop where you can use it as a stand. And then this comes apart, there's a seam here, and then this part lifts off the base, and this part lifts off of here. So it all breaks down to a small size for shipping. And it also makes it easier to put in a large duffel bag if you're going to take it to an event. It's spring loaded. Uses these pistons that you use on the Airstream cabinets to keep the doors closed. And I guess some features about it is it has adjustable feet on all four corners. It has an adjustable pad here to control how far open it will go. The box has a nylon fabric hinge. It doesn't have a piano hinge, so you don't have pinch points to ignite composition. There's no metal parts inside the box. And the box is dovetailed. I tried to keep everything as light as I could for shipping. It's all half-inch material. It's either poplar, cottonwood, and the plywood I use is this real lightweight plywood. I don't use it that much in cabinetry, but I do use it for like toe kick base units and stuff like that. But it's a good quality plywood. It's just lightweight is the main reason why I'm using it. Let's see. It comes apart pretty easy. I'll show you how it does that. This just slides out, and while I have it in this stage, what I'll show you is if you're going to put it on the countertop, you insert this one instead. And what that allows is that the lid cannot be left open, it will always close. But if you want it to stay open, it will do that. And that way you can undo the knob inside. It just has one thread. It has a thread insert in the post and a little, I don't know, I could call them like little woodworking jig knobs. It just has a nice tight fit onto the post. It's kind of like mortised in there. And just one thread insert, and that's all that's used to hold it on. And what you just take this out. This comes apart. You don't need any tools to do any of this. You can see where the adjustable feet are. And you could put like a Teflon tape or something to make them to where they're more stiff so they don't come out of adjustment. And I just have some sandpaper on there for traction, and it's pretty simple. There's nothing really to it. So there's not really a lot of things to break. Change this here. It has these toggle clamps on here. You can adjust it for any countertop from like, I don't know, from a 1 inch to 1.5 inches, which is pretty much standard for countertop thickness. And I guess I'll show you. The inside is just made for like Cool Whip size containers. I have it'll take these bigger ones, or it'll take the small one, but they both fit in there just fine. But what the whole idea about this is so that, or the inspiration behind it is, when I had my accident with that strobe rocket, even though I had everything covered up and did all the proper procedures you're supposed to do, something that really I noticed was a big problem and that I got lucky on is that little flakes of strobe fuel that were blown out when the whistle fuel ignited at the base. Those things could burn right through a Tupperware lid like nobody's business and ignite the composition inside. So obviously that's a huge problem. And so that's what made me think about making a wood box. Well, then I got to thinking, well, kill two birds with one stone to make it easier and faster, and that's where I came up with the foot idea. The other thing about this is that the scoops that you use for increments will fit in here with the lid closed. You know, when you use your Tupperware thing, depending on the size of the Tupperware and how much fill you have in there, a lot of times you have to leave the scoop out because the lid won't close on it. And it's just one thing to keep track of and blah, blah, blah. And so that was one thing I wanted to make sure that regardless of the fuel level inside the container and whatnot, that wasn't going to be an issue because it was something that always irritated me when making rockets. The other design feature behind making it all break down into pieces is, let's say there is an explosion. Now, you know, I'm behind the blast screen, which that's good for me, but the stand is probably likely going to be set off to the side out of the way, and it could be knocked over. Because it all breaks apart without any tools, it will dissipate its energy as it falls down, and it's much less likely to break the box apart. And because it's spring-loaded, it's always trying to stay closed. And there's a lot of overlap. As you can see, there's a lot more overlap than what I clearly need. That's just to make where it's difficult for fire to get in there, make a turn, make another turn to get inside. And with it fitting nice and flat all the way across, it's just difficult for fire to get in there. But that was the point of the whole thing of it breaking apart. But then, you know, I got to thinking, you know, if I were to sell these, that would help with shipping and people figuring out how to put it together would be easier and whatnot, taking it to events. So I am going to start selling these if people are interested in them. If not, I don't care either way. I built this for myself. I already sold one of these, and I got another person that wants one, and that's what that one's for. If I get a list of these on the forum and there's a big enough order, I probably only need about 6 or 8 of them to make it worth my while. But I need to get 250 a piece for these. Now, I could make them cheaper and reduce some of the features and whatnot, but something like that you can do yourself if you want to just make a simple box and spring load it somehow of your choosing. But this is more for a serious rocket builder and just wants the convenience of it and the safety features it offers. And being it can be used on a countertop, you can use it for other things other than building rockets. So anyway, that's all I had, and I just wanted to show you some of the things on it. If you have any other questions, you just ask on the forum or PM me. So, thanks.